That means not only you get visibility from your manager, but you also get visibility of the colleagues of your management. As long as you're learning those skills, as long as you're developing, you're actually moving yourself forward into this position. Welcome to another episode of Workplace Best Practices. Today I want to talk about something which really comes from my heart, which is for me a very important topic. It's about the power of speaking up. Now I know that culturally wise there is a difference in culture between, for instance, the Netherlands and India. But nevertheless, based on my knowledge, based on living in several areas in Europe, in Asia, dealing with Americas, I noticed that speaking up mostly has advantages. And today I want to talk about 3 different positions about speaking up. One is about speaking up for changing your career. Secondly, it's about speaking up in your daily working life and during events. And third of it, it's about speaking up by setting for yourself some clear borders. So let's get started. Speaking up for changing. Now see it from the other side. If you're, for instance, a manager and you have 20-30 direct reports, and with those 20-30 you have once a year you have a performance dialogue. Now if only then one of the employees is coming to you and saying, oh, by the way, I like what I'm doing, but I want to have some more responsibilities, so I would be changing, I want to become also a manager, whatever what. If you do that only once a year as an employee, and as a manager you only hear that during the performance dialogues where you have 20-30 others, that will not be so present. So as an employee, make also meetings with your management to discuss this during the day, during the year. Have multiple meetings with them and really challenge and ask this manager and say from, okay, I'm here there, I want to go there. And it's also good for you during those meetings during the year that you have a feeling, how is actually my manager supporting me? It can be that you have the feeling from, okay, he also wants that I'm going to this position. It can be on the other hand that you have the feeling he's blocking me. This is not what he wants to have. And this will of course have an effect how to deal then with this situation. And on the other hand, it can be that the manager is saying, I understood what you said, but from my point of view, you're not ready for this position. Then ask this manager from, okay, if I'm not ready for the position, what should I change? What kind of skills do I need to improve so I can have this function? And then it's up to the management to give you some measurement, to give you some task so that you can improve your qualities. Maybe he's going to send you to a training, maybe he's going to give you a certain project where you can have some other skills that you can build up. Which will of course have an effect then, because then after a certain period, after 6 months, you can again have a conversation with your manager and asking from, okay, how is it? Did my skills improve or not? And if you do that like this, after a certain period, this manager cannot tell you anymore from, you're not valid anymore to go to this next position. As long as you're learning those skills, as long as you're developing, you're actually moving yourself forward into this position. Second is during the normal operational day, during events. Again, imagine that there is a town hall meeting and there are sitting 100, 500,000 people. And in each town hall meeting, there is the one or the other person who is asking a question. And this question is always like a kind of intelligent, moving forward, inspiring question towards the organization. It's not like finger pointing toward that person, but it's really like a question which you say from, yeah, that's a very interesting question, right? If you are this person who is asking this question and you're doing that over and over again in each town hall meeting, I can assure you that other persons in this room gonna notice you. That means not only you get visibility from your manager, but you also get visibility of the colleagues of your management, which gonna help you again in developing faster. Because you have to understand, management are sitting together for development planning, and then they are asking for this position, who could be a good candidate? And if then the manager is proposing, I have an employee of me, Mr. X, and the other ones are saying, oh yeah, that's true, I know Mr. X from town hall meetings or from other events, from meetings. Actually, yeah, he has a lot of good points, he's a very motivating person. It will give you a much advantage comparative to say, I never heard from Mr. X. So it's very important that you speak up, that in meetings and events, in different organization structures, that you get visibility. Now the third point is setting clear borders. Setting clear borders means that it's up to you to say no. And again, maybe you noticed that some of the employees, they have difficulties to say no. And if you are, for instance, a manager and you need to execute a certain task and you want to delegate this, and you have 5 persons who could do this task, and you go to those 5 persons and 4 of the 5 persons are saying no, and the 5th is saying yes, who are you going to give to it? Of course you're happy that this person wants to do, so you're giving it to person 5. Now if you repeatedly ask the question and always number 5 is saying yes, the next time you have something to delegate a task, you're gonna automatically go to this person because you know that mostly this person is gonna say yes. And if this person is doing a very good job, why you wouldn't ask this person, right? So it's up to you as an employee manager to really say at a certain time, no, I had enough, I have too many tasks already. I'm sitting here till 8 o'clock in the evening while the whole office is empty. And it's up to you to really say no at a certain time. Now it also goes further in about respecting, but let me point out to it in another video about how to deal actually with narcissistic managers. But those are the 3 things which are very important, which help you to have really a much more better life during the working floor and also to become in a position where you want to be. Now, how are you going to do that? How you speak up? Very important is that you plan. If you, for instance, your management had a certain idea and you're not behind this idea, then it's about getting the right timing. So ask your manager in forehand, when can we have a discussion about that? Also ask the topic that he knows from what you're going to discuss about. And then prepare yourself. And if you give like a positive feedback, then it's about also always looking what's in it for the person I'm giving to that. Try to make it very brief. Try to make it also fact-based, and last but not least, try also to put it inside there so it's actually an advantage for him, her, it's an advantage for the company. Because if you're doing it from this position, if you're saying from my point of view, if we would do it like this and that, that would help the company's values this and there, then it's of course the manager will listen much more than if you're finger pointing to him or her. It is also going to help, of course, if you know the challenges of your manager and if you actually by your proposal or helping to close the challenges from your management, then actually you're supporting this person. So why this person would not listen? So this is something which I want to give to you as a tip. So prepare yourself, make a right timing to discuss, and if you discuss, try to discuss it so that the person you're discussing it also see the added value for that person. Okay, so that's it from my side. Looking forward in some comments. Maybe you have some additional tips concerning the power of speaking up. Also let me know what the next topic should be, what I'm talking about. Until then, have a nice time. See you next time. Bye bye.